Hi, and welcome to Math for All, where everyone can discover more about math. Today, we're going to learn about fractions. We're going to explore the basics of fractions by explaining what they are, first of all. We're going to talk about what do the top and the bottom numbers mean in a fraction. We're going to also discover how to make one whole out of fractions, and then we get to practice what we've learned. So let's get started. What are fractions? Well, first of all, fractions are parts of anything. They could be parts of a pizza, parts of candy bars, even items in a group, and we'll discover that later. For example, if we only eat part of a pizza, math people had to come up with a way to tell you how much pizza you ate, because you couldn't say I ate 0 pizzas or I ate 1 full pizza because you only ate part of it, and that's where fractions come in. Fractions are written like this: 2 over 9, and we would say that as 2/9. We could also do a 4 and then a slash and then a 5, and we would read that 4/5. Fractions have the th at the end, so it's not 4/5, it's 4/5. There are 2 exceptions to that rule. For example, if you have 1 over 2, we don't say 1/2, we say 1/2. The other thing we do is if it's 1 over 3, we don't say 1/3, we say 1/3, just to let you know in on the vocabulary that we have. So here's the most important definition to remember when we're talking about fractions. We will say it's the number of pieces that we want over the total number of pieces of whatever it is. Let's take a look at my pizza example here. You can see that I have my whole pizza and say that I ate the shaded amount. Those ones that are kind of darkened in, those are the ones that I ate. So let's discover what fraction of the pizza that I ate. The number of pieces that I ate, you can count 1, 2, 3. And then the total number of pieces in this pizza is 8. So I ate 3/8 of the pizza. All right, let's move on. Let's talk more about what those top and bottom numbers mean. The top number tells us how many pieces, and the bottom number tells us what type or what shape the pieces are. Math people kind of have some fancy words for the top and the bottom numbers, so I'm going to tell you them now. The top number is called the numerator. We can think that that's the number. The bottom number is the denominator, and that tells us what type or what size. All right, so let's take a look at how that denominator can tell you what shape. Here we have one box. We can say that it's a candy bar. And let's talk about what fraction is shaded. Well, you can see that only one piece is shaded, and there's 2 pieces total. So remember that 1 over 2 is 1/2. Here's another one, the same size box, but this time it's cut up into 100 pieces. I don't really want to count them right now, so trust me, all those boxes, there's 100 of them. So if I color in 1, I have 1/100th. So you can see from this example that if you have a bigger number on the bottom of the denominator, that means that I have smaller pieces because I chopped it into more pieces. Let's go back to my pizza. So if I ate this whole very, very yummy pizza, what fraction did I eat? It must have been really good if I ate the whole thing. Remember, it's the number of pieces over the total number of pieces. And so this one would be 8/8 because I ate 8 pieces and there's 8 pieces total. What do you notice about one whole? It's kind of a very special number. It always has the same number on the top and the bottom. Even 1 million over 1 million, it's still just one whole. Something interesting to remember. Let's take a look at another pizza. Looking at this one, assuming that I was really, really hungry and that it was really, really good, what fraction did I eat? Well, let's count up the pieces that I ate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10 pieces total. That means that I ate 7/10 of the pizza. This one is going to be just a little bit different. We can also see what fraction that I didn't eat. So let's count up the pieces that are left over. There's 3 pieces not eaten and still 10 pieces of the pizza, so I didn't eat 3/10 of the pizza. I hope this is making sense for you. If I put those together, then I ate the whole pizza. And then you have the whole pizza total. 10/10 equals 1, like we said before. All right, even though this video is just an introduction to fractions, you have still learned a lot. So let's practice. First of all, you'll notice that we don't just have fractions of a pizza or a candy bar. We can name fractions on a bar model. So let's take a look at this one and let's go through and say, what is the fraction of the shaded part? Well, count how many are shaded over the total number. All right, we have 3/5 that are shaded. What fraction is not shaded? The 2 left over, still over the 5, so it's 2/5. All right, let's practice another pie model like our pizza. What part is shaded on this one? 1. Total number of pieces? 6. 1/6 is shaded. All right, what part is left unshaded? 5/6. All right, we can also find fractions of shapes. For this one, let's write the fraction of the hearts in this group of shapes. So it's going to be the number of hearts over the total number of shapes. Now we just count. I see 5 hearts with how many shapes? Let's go ahead and count them. You should get 11. And so we should have 5/11ths of the shapes are hearts. Another way to do fractions. This one is a number line, and I kind of think these are the trickiest way to figure out fractions. For this one, you can see that my number line starts at 0 and goes to 1, and I'm chopping up in between 0 and 1, and we have to count how many pieces are in between there. So you see where the arrow is? We're going to count how many tick marks over it is. So let's go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that that's our top number. And then we have 8 total tick marks, so the fraction on this number line is 6/8. All right, let's switch gears and remember how to tell which fraction is bigger. Which one do you think is bigger, 1/20th or 1/50th? Remembering when we cut that box up into 100 pieces. Remember, the denominator tells us how many pieces it's chopped into, so 1/20th must be bigger, and 1/50th is a smaller piece. Lastly, let's practice how to make one whole. Take a look at this one. We have 4/7 plus what? Equals 7/7 or 1. So think about those pizzas. If I ate 4/7 of them, how many pieces are left over? Well, if I ate 4, then 3 would be left over, so 3/7 would be the answer. Here's one for you to try. 4/9 plus what equals 1 whole? Well, if I ate 4 pieces, how many pieces of that pizza would be left over? If you answered 5, you would be right. And so 4/9 plus 5/9 equals 1 whole. All right, well, I hope you now have a better understanding of fractions, and I hope you enjoyed our time together as we discover math for all.